It's Thursday. There's so much to be grateful for, and I have thought through the week about things I'm thankful for, in spite of it not being not that great of a week, just physically wise and all that stuff, emotionally. And even trying to get ready for this, trying to decide what I would even do today or get ready for it or remember to do it. I was just struggling, wait a minute, what am I even going to talk about? And just less than a minute ago, before I hit record, I thought of a moment at my job, because I work with college students. And one of the students, conversations that I've been having with her have helped me tremendously. Really, one thing I like about working with the students is because they're trying to accomplish something so formative and something transformative, formative, foundational, like the idea of being in school, especially higher education, especially the school I work at, is it's a serious undertaking. And talking with someone who's made the decision, a young person who's made the decision to continue learning in a meaningful, substantive way, is just, and has always been, inspirational to me. I admire it. I consider myself a lifelong learner, though I have struggled lately. Oh my goodness. And that is why I'm grateful for the conversations that I've had with students, and one student in particular, one point that I've made to her that I realize I have to consider for myself. And I am thankful for the privilege of doing what I do, even though I don't like my job. And it's very complicated, and I'm not going to get into it. But that's the thing. Despite the fact that I don't like my job, even though I like a couple of aspects of it, I'm very thankful for the aspects that I do enjoy, that do speak to who I am as a person, to my values, my passions and convictions and whatnot. And it has helped me see that even with the job, there are a couple of opportunities that surpass the job. Something I told the student was about not letting a particular challenge, like a very clear and obvious challenge about some people that will be involved in an opportunity she has, the things that those people are doing and the challenges that they may implement are not worth foregoing the opportunity itself. That the opportunity outweighs whatever crap those people are on. And that is true for me too. I have a couple of opportunities before me that far surpass the nonsense of certain people who I may have to continue to deal with to seize that opportunity. And without saying it explicitly to the student, I don't know if I would have faced it so plainly for myself in the amount of time that I have to make the decision about the opportunity. And that's the key part too. Time is not on our side. I don't have, I'm not young like them. And even, you have to seize the time in general, but the clock is ticking. And the decisions had to be made. And even as I was waiting to make a choice, I didn't feel that confident about if I had what it takes to really seize this opportunity. Or if I had the energy to contend with the nonsense that I will have to contend with to seize this opportunity, at least temporarily anyway. Like, I didn't know if I just had what it takes. But then I have this, I would not have seen it so plainly that the opportunity is worth it, right? And to start to shrink the problem, the challenge. So I'm thankful for that conversation. Because it puts some things in perspective. And it has motivated me to take some steps. And so that is what I'm going to do. Take the steps. And that means I have some things to do. I had some things that and I know I'm still being vague, and I know that I mentioned several weeks ago that I think I'm transitioning into a place where I can be more specific about the stuff that I'm working on in this season, literally this season of spring, and sort of the season where I am. And I'm hesitating to be specific. Really, I just am. Because I do still feel I need to protect some of it. But soon, I'll be able to say these things. Right? So, and also, a part of it is I don't want to, and that's another thing about these YouTube videos. I am thankful, and I don't want to be, I'm not ashamed of anything God has done for me. But I also want to practice discretion, because I don't want anything that I'm discussing to, you know, I don't want, what, in my brain I can see it, but for some reason the words be hard to find. I don't want my work or professional life to in any way hinder or color what I talk about on here, or my freedoms on here. And it's not the opposite. I kind of don't care if what I say on here gets in the way of my professional stuff, because whatever. It's just because the job, it's a job. At the end of the day, it's still a job. This is my life. When I come on here, this is an aspect of me expressing my faith in my journey that has been crucial to my life. I don't talk about my whole life on here, but this is a more critical aspect of my life, especially these past couple years, than a job. So I want to protect this and not necessarily the job. But I know that a part of protecting this is for it to not become a distraction, the things that I do, my work and all that other stuff. Even though I do talk about it, but for the details of it to not become a highlight itself, if that makes sense, like where I work and all of this other stuff. So I do want to still honor that, and but even with that being said, a couple of things are, I'm noticing that some of it is still just fear. If I talk about certain things, they might not, that's like superstition. Like if I talk about it, it might mess it up. And there are things we do need to be discreet and private about that we shouldn't share. But some things is either I'm going to do it or I'm not. It's not going to come down to the fact that I shared something about it on a YouTube video. So I still wrestle with that lane, staying in that lane, and figuring out the boundaries of that lane really are. But what I will say is, even with the opportunity in front of me, I still need God to do a couple of things to make it happen, because there's some ways that I don't necessarily qualify. But what I do know is, if this is what God has for me, He'll open the door. And that's really it. That's really it. So I am excited about it. Nervous, not gonna lie. And it's one thing on the list of many things that just, when I look at it, it really all still looks quite impossible. It just does. But I hear God assuring me that He's with me and that He's going to make it happen. I just got to do my part, and that I'm more capable than I realize, even right now. So I'm thankful for the conversation with the student that specifically helped me with my perspective on the opportunity in front of me, and to not let people, get in the way of it. And I'm thankful to God that even as I look at the list, like I'm looking at something on this desk right now that is like, I can't do that. Not like I'm not, like literally, I don't have it. I don't have the skill. I don't have the time. But I gotta trust that God is gonna work it out. He's telling me He is. He's training me and trusting Him more. So that's what I'm choosing to do intentionally. I'm choosing to trust in God with all of this. There's still some financial stuff. Oh, it's still so many things. So many things. But none of it is too much for Him. That I know. And if I know that, then I've got to rest in that and just do what He's telling me to do. Just do what He's telling me to do. Just do what He's telling me to do. Just do it. So, I do hope that I can share. There's a couple of steps with this thing in particular, this opportunity. There's a couple of steps with it that I want to take. And once that's done, I will share. I will talk about it. And man, there's just so much I want to talk about in specifics. But soon. And I'm still putting together sort of like I'm still writing down and plotting out just a lot of the things that came to me during my road trip back in December and January. So that's not lost. I'm not going to let that slip away. But right now, it really is a matter of time. Some of the stuff really does require like me moving while the door is open. And sometimes there have been moments where I've watched the door close and it's been startling. And I'm realizing like, wait a minute. These opportunities are not like just guaranteed. They're not going to sit around forever. I really have to move. I really truly have to move on these things. So I'm thinking back on just the motion that was even required for me to take that road trip. I had got that car on a Saturday and I had it for a week. And like the next Saturday I hit the road. That was, I don't even remember if I worked that Friday. I don't even remember, but I had to hit the road. And it took me just getting up, getting together what I had. I was thankful that I had the finances prepared, but just mapping out my route, making a little list of whatever little last minute supplies I would need to get as I headed out, and it happened. It was a huge undertaking. And as my videos talked about, it took a continuous contention with the temptation to fear. Like I had to constantly beat down this temptation to just be afraid or to turn around or to cut the trip short or to choose some alternate place. No, it was a spider. Dead spider. There you go. And to accomplish that was just a flat out work of God. It was Jesus. It was the Holy Spirit. It was not me. But I did have to agree and participate. And that was not easy. And so I'm reminding myself that anything that God is inviting me into, no matter how difficult it may seem, I can resist and reject the fear and just get into it and do it one step at a time. And part of that has had me questioning. I'm like, okay, well, some of these things, I don't even see what the next step is. So maybe it's not God. Maybe it's actually not a Him thing. Like some of the stuff is like, I literally don't see what to do, what to grab. Like I don't know what I need. I don't know what it looks like. Like some of it is like just So I'm like, well, maybe that stuff ain't God. And what I'm deciding is I'm not going to worry about it. Like, I'm done worrying about it. If it's God, it's him, he'll make himself clear. He's not the author of confusion. And he loves me so much that he said he'll convict me, he'll chasten me. So if I'm off course, he'll correct me. I can't just sit up here worrying and thinking that worry is going to lead to clarity. It gets in the way of clarity. So I'm done worrying about it. If it don't make sense, if I don't see the next step, then I'm refusing to worry about it. And that's a mindset that I have to adopt for the rest of this stuff moving forward. Because I've spent these 4 months, some of it feeling good about certain things, and some of it just like staring at a wall. Like, well, okay, what the heck am I supposed to do? And worried that I'm not figuring something out as I stare at these walls. I'm not doing that no more. I'm going to go where there's momentum. I'm going to do what's clear to do, and I'm not going to worry about whatever don't make sense. And if I make a misstep, I'm staying at the feet of the Lord anyway, so I got to trust that he'll correct me if I'm getting off course, or if I'm missing, or if I'm making a mistake, or whatever. So that's where I am with it. I'm going to go after these opportunities. I'm going to trust him with all this other stuff that I don't see what to do with. I'm not going to worry about it. He's been too good to me. I'm not going to let these people at my job worry me. I refuse. And my Lord, have they been trying. My goodness. But people are people. I'm a people. I'm sure I get on somebody's nerves. I'm sure I've not always been a conduit of the Holy Spirit and the goodness of God. So I'm going to humble myself and be gracious and not even make it about these people and what they got going on. I'm going to make it about the opportunity that God has put in front of me. So if you're in a similar place, you're looking at some things, some opportunities, and they just seem like maybe it's not worth it because of all the challenges you would have to face to do it. I hope this offered you some perspective, because if it's a God opportunity, a good opportunity, if it speaks to who you are, if you could see the value of it, shrink the problem, shrink the obstacle. Don't make it so big, Your God is bigger than whatever that obstacle is. If he's calling you into it, then it'll be worth it. It's not worth letting the tactics of the enemy punk us out of what's ours. I guess it's almost like the giants in the land, in the promised land. If it's clear that the land is promised, we can't let the giants be a legitimate reason why we don't go in and take it. That's kind of what it is. The land is mine. So the giants gotta go. God says he'll help me with the giants. Then that's that. That answers it all. The land is mine. God is gonna help me with the giants. The giants gotta go. And I hope you can be encouraged in your faith to know that it really is as simple as that. It may not be as fun or, easy as some other things, but it's as simple as that. If God said it's yours, you see some opposition, he's giving you the victory over the opposition. So go and get what's yours. Don't miss out on the opportunity to walk in an answered prayer because of how big the opposition looks. It just looks big. It's definitely not bigger than God, and it's not bigger than you. So I hope this encouraged you if you know the Lord and you needed that. But if you don't know the Lord, I pray that you would be sensitive to your spirit's reach for him. Your spirit is reaching for him. He's knocking at the door of your heart. I pray that you would incline your spiritual ears to heaven to hear the invitation of the cross, to be restored to God eternally, to learn the different aspects of what it even means to repent, to come into revelation of what it means to miss the mark of the high calling of God that you were made for, to miss the mark of the glory you were made for. That's what sin is. It's missing the mark, being off target of the fullness of God's love, of his holiness, of a union with him. And Christ brings you right on target. right back on track with it. And the consequence of being off target, missing the mark of God, is you miss the mark of God. There is nothing else. There's only damnation. There's only torment. There's no, he's so good, and he's the only one so good, that to miss him or to go without him is just to have your soul not just unsatisfied, but to have your soul in agony, even here on earth, but in eternity. We were not made for anything else but God. And everything we want in life points directly to him. Family, love, purpose, healing, well-being, growth, all those things. All of it is in him, on his terms. We have to humble ourselves because we think we figured out what it is we want and how to get it. Or we think if we get that thing we want, it will satisfy us. But we have to humble ourselves, because when has anything we actually wanted really satisfied us in the first place? Of all the things you wanted that you did get, did it satisfy you? Was it even what you thought? We have to humble ourselves and not waste our lives going down dead-end roads. And we have to see the glorious invitation of his grace and mercy to be made whole, to be unified with God through salvation, through the work of the cross, through Jesus, who is the way. And I pray that your spirit will be sensitive to that, and that you will yield and accept him and turn your faith to him, and stop putting your faith in other things that have proven to you already that they cannot fulfill even the slightest inkling of your faith and your desires. Just fleeting pleasures, the failure of humans. And most of y'all watching this, if you're not saved, if you don't know the Lord, you got hopes, you got dreams, you got desires, and you have put them in yourself or someone else most of the times, despite the fact that every person you know has disappointed you at some point, and that you yourself have disappointed you at some point. So when will you meet or become this person who fulfills every aspect of you? What would catalyze such a transformation that you could fulfill yourself, or that some fallible human being could fulfill you? Don't go your whole life putting your faith and your hope and your desires in man or in yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Jesus is the way. He is God. He is not just a man. He is God, and he shows you how you are God. On your own, you want to be God in your own life, and you can't be. But through Christ, you'll start to realize you are an aspect of God over so many things. But it's him revealing to you how he rules and reigns through you, and how it is you are like him. On our own, we're just lost. But with him, we are made whole. So I pray this blesses you. Receive him. Stay encouraged.